evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda, Hero of Reich, Defender of the Fatherland. We're off here to an exciting 1 versus 1 on some Moscow here between Paoj, fighting for Deutschland, for the Reich, for the 2nd SS Panzer Division, Das Reich, with fortifications, breakthrough, and scavenge, versus Spanky, fighting for the United States of America for the 3rd Armored Division. Tasked with moving up and pushing those damn crowds out. And he's gone straight for armor, and he's gone for double assault engineers here so far. Rather rare to put it mildly. Also note this is going to be a longer match, so no mid-game analysis. Otherwise a rather spectacularly unique match here as we get ever closer to the patch. We got tank traps here and Paoj going up base, sort of preparing a fortified position around the cut-off, so he can't be so easily cut off. Paoj going rather early here for fortification destruction. We got Folks there on the way so far as well, so it makes a Folks Steel Pioneers so far, going at the west, also the east, but rather late to move down. In fact, he's rushing his Steel Pioneers up here for the centre. Now that is a surprising move as well. Whereas we got the assault moving up there, we got the other squad moving up there with their grease gun, so named because what it looked like one. It was an attempt to basically make a cheaper and lighter submachine gun than the Thompson submachine gun, which, while effective, was heavy, cumbersome, and expensive to make. And so the grease gun basically came about using the same caliber round, but overall a bit similar in such that it also had a slight chance of damaging the user due to some, well, design bits. But a third squad there, he's actually going pretty heavy on the assault engineers. That is rather rare, but there we go, moving ahead, they're moving ahead. It was a bit rare that these sort of Americans sort of rely only on the engineers. I mean, assault engineers were specialized assault troops within the American army. I believe something a bit more attached that sort of used them primarily the infantry was a bit rarer. There were some circumstances though where engineers were sort of used as the primary infantry if the infantry battalions themselves actually suffered too hard to provide enough infantry. That, for example, happened during Operation Nordwind, which happened at the same time as the Battle of the Bulge, where, for example, one armoured division all of a sudden found itself without infantry to support its Germans and sets in an engineer company to do it. That did not end up well, by the way, well, except for the Germans who managed to capture a full German company. But fun facts there. And with Paoj they're sort of winding off some of the routes to make it harder for Paoj to sort of move towards him. And we got 4 assault engineers! 4 assault engineers! How often do you see that, if any, assault engineers as of late? And instead, Spanky has basically gone full out with the assault engineers. That's quite a few submachine guns there with the 45 caliber round. We got a mechanized ribbon going up there for Paoj, 3 Fultz Grenadier and 1 Steel Pioneer squad. There we go, we got the first kick here, assault engineers versus the Fultz Grenadiers. First being pushed out of cover, assault engineers of course can't really pursue them to get out in the open, in which case the Fultz Grenadiers will cut them down there with accurate rifle fire. Got reassurance going up there with the M1 carbine, Fultz Grenadiers shooting it out, they're pretty much safe there at that range. More assault engineers moving up, we got the reassurance moving up, we got the other units here in the west. No take up here, no lieutenant, it would seem from Spanky, which would indicate he's going for the captain. Troops moving up the centre here. And we've got volley fire here from the reassurance, the soldiers falling back there, so we've got Joey already dead. There we go, the volley fire does force the full back. There we go, we got 1 squad there suppressed, at the same time further pressure up here in the centre. And we got the double and assault engineer unit here sort of moving about as well. Quite a few there, quite a few, and quite a bit of firepower they can get off with if they get close enough. And we got an MG-34 running for Paoj, 1 MG-34 to support the frontline Truppen. Assault's moving here again, assault's moving in, the other unit moving up here. Bit risky though with already low in numbers and health, but looks like still going to do it. There we go, getting some kills off there, and there we go, and see a quick shoot, so Stielhandgranate is thrown there. Fighter Dieter did a decent job. Meanwhile, we got Nish charging in, forcing away the Germans. We got flamethrowers on the way there as well. Forces there falling back, going for a point. What is he doing here? What is he doing? So trying to sort of flank in and catch these troops here, leaving the centre for the time being, or what is going on there. And there we go. Looks like briefly trying to sort of cut this off there with some SAM actually to make it harder there to move about, but no, looks like this also disrupted. There we go, there in the side of the building, got a flamethrower there. And there you go, burning away, burning away. Lots of danger, there he goes, getting out the back door. Escaping here for the time being, the assault engineers rather than there we go, we got a full retreat here, full retreat. Flak half-track on the way here though. Spanky is getting a capture though. He's getting a capture to try and deal with any vehicles. Of course, flak half-track's been quite common as of late, so obviously they should be expecting in that regard. Going for a captain is a rather straightforward choice. We've got a second MU-34 in the way, so Paoj in that way actually going for a lot of units to sort of help control the flow of the battle and actually hold the infantry back. Nicely done there, nicely done. Interestingly done as well. The soldiers are reinforcing up. And we got the captain down there as well with an ambulance on the way as well. Support Spanky's troops with all eyes. I mean, Paoj is mostly controlling the map at the moment, mostly controlling the map here. He's got the munitions, the victory points, and one fuel point. And we got fuel trade here on the way, and there we go. The flak half-track mobilizes. Für Deutschland.
Close it up.
So captain ring up there with a pair of bazookas. Flank half-track slowly rolling ahead there, crashing through the fences. MG34 there being locked forwards there. Going to slowly make it a bit more difficult there, sort of move about in the rear, so need to get away very quickly. And there go, 2 centimeter flak fire, crashes through the windows and the walls. As someone just realised they might suddenly want to sort of really stay behind here and not get discovered. Another flamethrower here for Spanky, another flamethrower. Watching this next move, we've got something up, MG34 trying to deal with it, got another MG34, there they go, flag half-tech joins in. As Soldier does a very quick retreat as a result of that. We got further push up here as Soldier's with the captain. Not a lot of troops there. We have to continue fighting for the building here, drawing in attention, drawing attention, coming in there, they're going to get spotted, the Soldiers do nothing. Going to see if we can't move up like to deal with that flag half-track. There we go, Soldier dealing with the Pulse Grenadiers. We've got more Pulse Grenadiers, but there we go, up close, up close. Of course, there's something nozzle there to the 45 caliber rounds. Captain taking up position there, coming out of heavy fire. The movement, you've had 4 troops from flanking him. We've got a flag half taking up here on the retreat path alongside the Strong Pioneers with Minesweeper kits there towards up, cut the wire. There you go, flag half from the rear, so taking them away. Cap's going to have to get away as well. Pulse was then pushed away. More astonishing away, and there we go, the rear echelons were annihilated, destroyed, crushed, ended, and we got the Steward light tank there on the way to Spanky. Steward light tank, MG34 there being pushed away. Thompson fire, rifle fire, bazooka fire going all over. We could see the MG34 there cleared out. There could be a small room there for Spanky. They could pull it off, and Fritz there makes it away. We've got continued attack up here. The soldiers moving out to do with us. We've got the nice time grenade there. Gets half the unit still trying here with the flamethrower and the 45 caliber round. Does not get on there. Go, folks. They're taking heavy losses down to one man. Down to one man. There you go. Retreated. Captain there pulling back as well. Stewart still on the way. Rest of the force basically hanging about up there, with the exception of one of the sorting squad being about here behind enemy territory. Going to go here for the point there. That's good. That is good. Harass a bit there. Force Paoj to draw away forces from the front line to then have to react to Spanky's harassment. And there we go, Steward light tank on the way. In that regard, Paoj will be in a bit of trouble there. Of course, he's got no anti-tank. He's got no Panzerschrecks, I believe. No mines either. And there's a Steward light tank on the way. The flak half-track might have a slight chance there, but even that is a bit circumstantial. So there you go. M5A1 Steward there on the way. So quite a bit as well as a Lend-Lease tank amongst the British and the Soviets. The Soviets were actually quite fond of that, because despite it being an American tank, which they generally were not too fond of. There goes Steward moving about there with his 37mm gun. MG34 in a bit of trouble. Flak half-track being rushed down to deal with the engineers down there. MG34, there could be trouble there. It looks like the Steward is on the hunt for something else. No. MG4 being pushed out. There we go. Stewart shoots, misses. Sergeant Thompson doesn't quite successfully get some kills there. Meanwhile, Cap's good dude, I suppose, for some healing. Otherwise, just moving up. We got a Kenmith on the way. Obviously, a swift response there to the Steward light tank. Response there from Paoj. He does quite everything else can sort of bring up. Otherwise, one option could have been a Puma to deal there with the Steward light tank. And the Steward there, of course, he actually ends up retreating the flak half-track, realising he probably can't do much here in the meanwhile before the Steward hunts him down. So, good reaction there from Paoj, weighing the odds and realising they're probably not quite in his favour there with the Steward on the field. Not until he gets out some anti-tank. We got an anti-tank gun as well for Spanky. Probably realising there's going to be some response to the Steward, which obviously means there's going to be something bigger required to sort of deal with that. We got a battle group headquarters up as well. And we do get a Puma there, the 234-2 Schwerer Panzerspähwagen. Pulses they're moving ahead. Stood pulls back there to deal with them. And shoots away there, shoots away.
The capture point is being overrun.
Only it could hit. There you go, getting some hits there, with machine gun fire and main gun. In the northern engagement here. Captain into Pulse gun this up close to the. There we go! Good bazooka hit there, annihilates Franz and Heinz. Puma almost done there, Puma almost done. Assault's moving up to deal with the force gun MG34 they're supporting. Stuart though could move up to support, looks like he's not, though he is not. Of course they're taking crashing casualties, but the MG34 managed to save the last man though by quickly suppressing their assault engineers laying behind a small scene of carnage there. Still pulling back there. Engineers laying down mines there, keep in mind they need to be sort of clustered together reasonably well, otherwise you won't really get much in effect. On the other hand, if you can sort of cluster 4 or 5 together, they can pretty much immobilize any vehicle, which means for about 20 to 25 munitions you can immobilize even a King Tiger. Stuart they're moving ahead, taking up some good hits on the flat half track. But Ken up in the church here, that could be some problems there for Spanky Stewart. He's moving about, they're still within the outer fire, there you go. Not good. And there you go, his Stuart light tank is kaput. And the captain gets annihilated as well. The captain has been annihilated. Now that is a bad news right there. The MG34 makes short work of them there, close to veteran 2 already. So now all of a sudden we see a bit of advantage to Paoj. Now that he's lost a lot of equipment there and actually had to lose some fuel there in a sense to Paoj. Southern point this incident. Oh, we could see a return here. We could see an MG4 then being handed over to Spanky. Now that could actually help him out quite a bit there. But looks like Helmut does make it out of there. Down close though. Nothing further going on here in Spanky's face. What could he be planning against? Could he try and wait for an M10 to maybe deal with all these vehicles at the moment? Puma could stand to just free fire until it sort of encounters another vehicle. I mean, there's pretty much no vehicles at the moment from Spanky, so easily free fires that will allow you to get some kills maybe. So sort of really wanted hits Veteran 2, Veteran 3 that it actually becomes effective versus infantry. Here I think the mines are too stringed up. They need to be a bit more closer together if possible. There you go, free fire on the Puma, fires away there with the actual MG34 and its main gun. Pack house on the way for Spanky, adding with artillery there versus Paoj. Otherwise, the Spanky is at the moment quite contained here by Paoj. And there we go, straight into the anti-tank gun, into the 57 M1. Good hit there, Puma forced away. Closing in on Veterans 1. And we got a bunker going up here. Interesting. Though the angling does allow for someone to set up here to deal with it. I mean, a probably better to have set it up here. That would have made it a bit difficult to actually set up to deal with it without sort of having crossed into the village and its arc of fire. But that is merely my opinion. North the MG34 comes to fire, but this time he might have just pushed a bit too far. No, it looks like he's choosing time here. So it was a bit close there. He probably better off to actually had in his building sort of see farther and then be able to use the MG34 a bit more focused around this area. Assault here seems to have stalled on as well with the MG bunker there, basically covering up the entire area. Any sort of direct assault here is going to be a bit more tricky for Spanky to pull off. So of course, the question is how long this is going to last, but so far he seems to be doing some good already, so of course it's not a wasted investment. The question is of course how long can he keep it there. Munitions are now being traded here for Paoj. Munitions, now that's an interesting decision. I would have figured to keep trading for munitions, fuel, not munitions, and instead, you know, maybe aim for some more vehicles, maybe aim for a spare punch at quarters with some Golden Star and Panther. There you go, anti-tank gun. Flak half takes aim under other purposes. He's still setting up though. Take aim. But right there, Paoj got a bit lucky there to put it mildly. He was rather pushing that a bit beyond all that was sensible, I feel. Troop sealing up, reinforcing up. Puma on the move there.
Task complete. Crew ready. On your feet, ladies.
Looks like he's trying to bombard. Here we got S-mines going down to make an assault into the village proper even more difficult. Might want to repair the bunker a bit there then, with the pack house being sort of delegated with the order of dealing with it. Now the assault here seems like he's forgetting a bit the left flank and maybe pursuing here as well to sort of force Paoj away from the village before he makes an attack from that. He could also lay down some mines here, but out well. He could even try with maybe with a flak emplacement. That's probably not supposed to be the most effective thing. Steel Party's under fire from the echelons. We got a second pack house on the way for Spanky. Now a second pack house, and there you go though. We've got the anti-tank to deal with it directly, and that is why I felt this was perhaps not the best position again. It was sort of reason he should have moved up there again. Had he just pulled it up a bit further up to the outskirts of there, he could still sort of cover this area, but you know, made it harder for an anti-tank and sort of creep up there. But there you go. There's still the mines, of course. That's going to be difficult still to sort of attack into the village. Down south, there's Steel Pioneers versus Real Thingies. A soldier. There we go. Heavy losses in there. Heavy losses in.
Don't let up! Keep shooting!
Puma slowly moving up there. Crashing into the buildings as well, though. Need to be careful there.
In contact!
Point secured. Point secure. Mines going down here. At least attempt at mines.
We've dropped to 200 points. We're all done.
Still spending that a bit too much.
We're ready.
These should be all together in one spot, I believe. But anyway, we can caught here by the flak half track. There we go. Getting off some nasty hits there. MG34 got too close. There we got the Puma moving in, but can he get the MG34? Can he get it with the flamethrowers and their soldiers? There we go. Close, close. Can he do it? Wiped. Flak half from there we go. It actually does end up with a damaged engine here. And a Stukas of Fuss with another Storm Pioneer squad as well for Paoj. Another Storm Pioneer squad and a Stukas of Fuss. Interesting, interesting there. Soldiers being forced out of the premises due to severe fire there from the flak half. Check how damaged it is. And we got an M10 tank destroyer here. We got the Wolverine out. We got the Wolverine out. Those are getting assaulted. Getting torn up close. Got the pack out and body control. There you go. Squad wiped. Squad wiped. Mines going off. A soldier is retreating. M10 though finding its path here blocked by support weapons. Another excellent hit there. Demo charge on the field. Looks like he might try to hunt down that. Oh! Could also try and get the Puma here. Popping smoke. We got a Panzer here behind. Plus we still got the Echidna inside the chest. Shots fired, but not quite hitting. Will he try and get the flak half track? Or is he not aware got a damaged engine there due to his mines? Also another fun fact about the M10 there, it actually saw usage as a Lend-Lease vehicle as well. Setting with the Russians, in fact, besides the British though actually did modify them with the 17-pounder guns, so some of them to create the Achilles tank destroyer. Another little neat bit there. But the Russians did put them to use in their own tank destroyer battalions. For those that were not aware. Looks like he might try and get it here, but it's already too late, I fear. But maybe is it not?
Tank destroyer ready.
And there you go. Stukas of Rus there firing away. And got some kills there, but nothing wiped, though nastily damaged. Oh dear, he moved the flak half tank just as soon as it was repaired. He's going to regret that one. There we go. Destroyed engine. One more hit, and there you go, out of control. Victory to United States of America there. M10 crushing the Pioneers as well. Need to be careful, need to be careful. Otherwise, Paoj not retreating and annihilated. Why he did not retreat there is certainly beyond me, but there we go. We got the high velocity armor piercing rounds there available, increasing penetration. Though the current sort of unit he's facing off doesn't really require it. We got a pack for the theatre going up though. That could make it harder there for Spanky to sort of push into the village with what he's got. We got lots of demo charges there ready to break up any assault from Paoj. We got the pack houses providing the village centre. But again, he's not really sort of pushing much in the left flank. He's not really harassing or doing anything there. Which again does allow Paoj to focus his defences more around this side of the village. And we got another MG34. That's a third MG34 here from Paoj. That's a bit rarer to see an Oberkommando S player bother with that many MG34s. There we go, Pack 43 ready. Schwere Panzerabwehrkanone. Ooh, MG34 there. Could maybe have shot down, but actually set up in the wrong time there, allowing the assault to close in. Of course, this time we got the Panzer Strikes flying. Puma moving up there, need to free fire, Storm Pioneers moving as well. Pack 43 there, but I'm going to spot it. No empty for the force to slow down the assault, and yes, there's only ways with the Puma and some other bits there. Kednap's doing what they can as well. Empty for the force, they put them in the church and try to deal with them. There you go, keep pushing onwards, taking damage. Anti-tank on firing there. Actually gets off a good hit, then the Stuka's push almost gets it though, Stuka's push the fires back. And oh, it's forced back though. It only managed to fire one rocket there, forced push back, give it anti-tank using take aim. Good job there. Mine swap and assault engineer squad there. You could see another one here running some trouble as they do have to retreat out through it there. Nicely done there though, nicely done. They're having a bit of time getting out there. Anti-tank moves up closer. Gets off, got him, the Puma forcing it back. Pack howitzers not moving up short chamber, but the pack howitzers maybe finish it off. I mean, not the pack howitzers, pack 43. Good lord. There you go, though, firing against the pack 43. And we got an one on fire with the bulldozer showing they're moving up. With an even bigger gun and the bulldozer. Assault into the centre of the village here now that the centre of resistance has been broken up a bit. At the same time, we got an attack up here. MG34, there's going to get cleared out. It's not careful. No, he does knock it out there. He said shoots on the track. Maybe you heard there's going to be a spare panzer course going up. The pack house almost start. No, pack 43. Why do I keep messing them up? It's probably because they both sort of start with pack. There you go, pack 43. Annihilated. Could get off the good hits on the Sherman if he's not careful. Don't got then clear out the MG34. Puma now arrives here to flank as well. Sherman there could get knocked up, probably will in fact. And there we go. Puma gains veterans who won as the Sherman cooks over. The munitions hold bursts into flames. Looks like the fuel.
Armor ready.
So that was a bit nasty there, but Spanky's making progress at a certain cost. And we got a second M10 there arriving, a second M10 Wolverine. That's also charging in. Get to the church there, probably to sort of spot a bit, although they are taking a bit of damage here for the Puma. The Fulton's and everything else nearby. Stuka's was moving up again there, after he has received some vital repairs. Pack cards is firing away. Will he try to silence it permanently, that pack 43, or what will he do here? He needs to be careful of being so close to the demo charge. I mean, one wrong move there could set them off and kill a lot there. There you go. One pack howitzer kaput. Well, the crew more specifically is kaput. The gun is still functional. We also see some heavy intervals here for Spanky. He's going to need to do something about replacing those, because otherwise Paoj will have a much larger force, in particular infantry-wise, which would easily then force Spanky back. Though interesting enough, Paoj is not pressing up here as well. I mean, just like Spanky is pushing through, he's not doing anything to sort of pressure and force away Spanky from here. Well, he's not sort of trying to draw away at the fuel.
M10 tank destroyer ready for deployment.
Can't help but feel that's a bit of waste. We've got trenches being dug here now, sort of further solidify the defense. We've got more mines going down. He's still trading munitions. No attempt at taking up, no consideration, but maybe a spare panzer quarters, and maybe some Obersoldaten or a Panther or a Lux or a Sturmtiger. No, nothing. Don't know here. Paoj might be going a bit tight on the defense. There we go. Assault again, taking heavy losses here to the S-mines. And an artillery strike finally going down here around the centre. Oh, church collapses under one 240mm howitzer shell. And there we go, MG34 annihilated. Actually, I think he's... Oh, that was like a kidnapper. That was like a kidnapper, and then they got sent to hell. Alongside all the mouths inside the build. Nice sort of thing. We got a third M10. A third M10 tank destroyer. What is Spanky here thinking? Maybe sort of just hoping to crush them again, which does seem to be something M10s are fond of doing. Now the trench being prepared here, he's basically digging in. That's only going to make it harder for the M10s to crush him. Yeah, that is what he's intending. Oh no! Volkskriegs and the Sturm Punish were wiped out as they were setting down the trench. They'd forgotten about the artillery strike. How dreadful. Go full bit of trouble there with the assault. You've got another steel pilot squad there on the way for Paoj. No infantry left almost there for Spanky. He's basically got 2 assault units. He's got 1 pack carriage and nothing is left really. More mines going off. And there we go. Double re-echelons now. Double re-echelons. He's not recruited the pack for the 3 though, and he hasn't considered maybe getting, you know, another Puma to sort of support the other one. Now the Stukas was power said demo charge went off. Nothing beyond that though. He needs veterans 1 there with 12 kills. And what is he planning with all those M10s? It certainly seems a bit unusual.
Rear echelon squad ready for action.
With a small squadron there of M10s. So 24, so we got forces inside the building or in the trench, but the flamethrower will be able to quickly cook them out there. It's not quite going to be too effective. And there we go. Rather rapidly dying out. They almost wiped. Retreat, retreat! Schnell! We actually got 4 MG34s now. He's gone for 4 MG34s. That's not really common either. This is definitely turning out to be a rather unusual match, though. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there you go. M10's moving ahead. M10's moving ahead. And he's taking the pack 43. Sacrificing the Sonya squad, by the way, in the process. That's rather a waste of manpower. Then again, it could have been a misclick. It could have been a misclick. Either way, though, they're dead.
Allied AT gun has been
Deader than dead.
Commanders, be advised. Troop level barrage now available.
Looks like he's preparing some kind of larger assault here with the M10 to strike down any vehicles, but it's all launching a several-pronged assault there. 2 in one tank destroying the other one. He could probably get some light vehicles, but got the pack 40 though. Combat ready again. Could see him send damage to the M10s. M10s all missed the Puma! Good lord! Are they all cross-eyed or something? Reminds me a bit of a sketch from Spaceballs, or part of it. Anyways, Puma there moving about, setting up there, getting off some hits there. M10's rolling about there. Pack 43 trying to deal with it. Pantrex opening up there. Get a good hit over the Puma, got a good hit. Pop smoke, needs to get away. No, he's moving ahead again. Using the smoke then to get some hits then. Hope the M10's going to respond. Pantrex, there we go. He wrecks the turret ring there on the... Misses again, there we go. M10 knocked out, M10 knocked out. He's trying to use them like tanks. But they are not tanks, they're M10s, they're tank destroyers. Another M10 down. There's 2 M10s utterly wrecked, at least none of them got abandoned. Otherwise that would have been a rather disastrous development there for Spanky. MG34 there almost annihilated. M10 going to have to pull back. And the pack carriage is still considerably bombarded away here. MG34 almost annihilated. Trench wrecked as well. Heavy losses here to the American artillery.
Listen up, fellas.
And we only got 54 victory points left for Spanky. He needs to do something about that. He also needs to be careful about repairing right next to a demo charge. That could very well have nasty consequences for the crew doing the repairs.
We're bleeding points like a
More forces down the way for Paoj. No Storm Pioneers, no tech up. Really think you should consider that. And also less munitions, more fuel. There you go, grabbing as many 2 ports as you can.
Engineers taking the field.
More soldiers there arriving to replace some of all the losses the previous ones have suffered in service of the United States Armed Forces. Pack 43 utterly wrecked.
That's it. Points ours.
Gun MG34 there being rushed northwards.
Assault engineers are
Try
on
and
the
catch some
lines
re-echelons
and
there.
deployable. Area is ours. Listen up. Here's the deal. A capture point
Fuming
is
about
under
there.
attack.
And quick to salvage all those M10 wreckages, that is good. That's good, there's going to be a bit more fuel there. And, oh dear, MG34 lost due to the S-mines being set off by the pack howitzers.
All right, you guys.
Veteran G2, Veteran G1. Assault's going up setting off some mines as well. Puma there, forcing back the creations there. Vetchi 2. There goes also moving ahead there, forcing a bit of trouble there. Packouts wiping one unit quickly. He needs to take those things very seriously. There you go, we could see another bulldozer shown there from Spanky. Will he go for it? Will he go for it? Will it be more M10s? What will Spanky's aim be? As he continues the assault in here.
Losing a capture point.
Further artillery going down there. We got points being taken away here from the south. At the same time, they got harassment against the southern fuel point there.
Sherman bulldozer ready. The enemy is overrunning one of our
There we go. He does go for another bulldozer Sherman. He does go for another bulldozer Sherman. There's the bulldozer his way through German lines here. Trench again being occupied. Packouts continues to blast away relentlessly, remorselessly. Puma moves ahead there. Faction machine gun from there against the retreating assault engineers. Almost getting them off. He could get the Puma or the ambulance here. Maybe he could get it. System focus there on the Packouts. Got the bullets moving up. They got the M10 ready as well. Got MG4 fighting from there. Puma needs to fall back here a bit. Good hit there from the Sherman, but there you go. Yams the turret ring there. Pulling back there, closing on eventually, fleeing increased damage. Folks there almost getting knocked out there by their own mines again. Barely an infantry left now for Paoj here versus Spanky, who relentlessly keeps it up. More folks goes on the way for Paoj. Still not trading for fuel, just munitions, more munitions. No regular mines, just all S mines. I do think maybe a few more machine gun bunkers here, at least the flanks might have helped him a bit more. A few there being retaken. We got another Puma on the way now. 2 Pumas, good. I think he should have gone for that sooner. Popping smoke there. M10 rushing straight into the smoke here. Missed. We could see him get knocked out here. There, close to 3, and there you go. Artillery strike down. Need to get the Puma out of there. Man's there, go get off aim shot. Ah! So close to getting that Puma. At the same time here, Bulldozer showing dealing with the MD-34 coming down south. Almost gets annihilated. Puma going to need some serious repairs. Rocks being blown apart there. And we got more Fultz Grenadiers.
Lay down a base of fire.
Literally 3 MD-34 there.
Okay, kid. Close it up.
And we got more mines there. More mines.
Steady up.
Securing points there.
Back to full strength. Ready for action.
Damn close there. Rushing to the trench once more. We got Rifleman now here for Spanky. He's actually called in some regular troops here. Apparently someone could be found here. Eventually the MD-34, they'll need to be careful. That trench is about to collapse on them. And of course some might survive, but still they could risk handing it over there. And there you go, quick retreat there. Puma's moving ahead there. And there you go, just as they escape, the trench collapses in a bloom of dirt.
Good to go.
Wrecked boots. That's on the support moving up in the north here, while the Puma's going to go far away against MD-34 in the centre. Almost fit for you. There you go. Excellent hit there on the MD-34. They're shown by the Americans. Bulldozer Sherman rushing ahead. We got the Sherman, the M10 need repairs, and down south, Storm Pioneers were killed here by the crossing in the stream. MD-34 covering up the northern victory point. Stopping the assault is quite solidly there. Could use incendiary rounds here. Puma was up here from the other side to deal with the escaping Yankees.
Here it comes.
Despite all the MD-34s, despite all the munitions, he doesn't seem to make much use of the incendiary rounds at all. But there you go. He's finally trading for fuel again. Could try for another Puma there. Or another flak half-track. Fox in a lot of trouble. Pantrix flying, failing to penetrate. 11 and 23 kills there.
Just got a report of an infantry unit being
Looks
wiped
like
out.
some poor bastard died, like the re-echelons up north.
A capture point is under attack.
Folks, as they continue their hunt there. Need to be careful they don't enter that demo chart, of course they don't know about it. We got Pumas moving ahead, they're hunting down that Sherman. Almost got the ambulance, almost got it like they can get it, like they can get it. M10 Johnson there, go abandon, grenading, pop this roll there against the pack howitzer crew. Doesn't quite wipe anything, but it is Veteran 5 though, it's Veteran 5, Puma's falling back, then Veterans who won. Oh, Veteran 3 I mean. Other one still far away from Veterans who won actually. The results they've been flown, there you go, folks, what it is. Were ended, they were annihilated. That's a harsh loss right there for Paoj. Those were Veterans who 5 folks on this. In fact, he's now got barely any left himself. He needs to get more, he needs to get replacements again. So much infantry getting absolutely slaughtered in this little village. From then he puts that, you got the assaults moving forwards. Almost wiping the unit there as well. Good hit of the pack out to the on the Puma. Almost 53 there. Got one here carrying the centre. Incendiary rounds would be good. Incendiary rounds would be good. There you go. Insult needs quick stop. There we got another Puma. We got a third Puma on the way for Paoj. Not very often we see more than one Puma, and certainly not 3. Veteran 3 on the pack howitzer. Soldiers might have to pull back. Then they might have to. Or the MG34 might have to pull back here before the pack howitzer completely annihilated, wrecked the crew, and splattered them across the ground. And there you go. Wiped. So many losses. So many casualties, so many veterans ended here. Bulldozer moves it there, gets a good hit, then the Indian Puma fires back, there Puma fires back, anti-tanker there, almost got it. Almost 53 or 4 as well, which would mean of course increased range. South being lost here to the Americans, good harassment there. Mines have been laid around here. Bit hither and dither.
M10 ready for action.
And we got another M10 there from Spanky, who has not considered at all taking up there, or even going for a lieutenant, maybe something from there. So that is certainly also something that stands out. So there we go, M10 rolling ahead, M10 rolling ahead.
Sniffing around our asses. Tactical point being captured.
Three Pumas. 10 moving hit there, go take hit from the Puma and the 50mm guns. M10 less than half health now, so they need to get away before the pack howitzers annihilate them. There you go, good hit to that anti-tank gun. Almost getting one Puma there. None of the MG34s have been secured here. By Spanky doesn't seem really to be concerned with them at all, has no interest. Oh wait, that one was recruit, but there we go, retreat again. But that one on the other hand sees no usage. You should also probably consider maybe repairing some of those MG34s. They have seen quite a bit of damage and they could be quickly fixed there by the assault units where they sort of move out and repair it a bit. We're moving up there. Oh, end shot there, end shot. Pulls back there, pulls back, does not pursue the M10, does not pursue the Wolverine. Back to munitions here for Paoj though, back to munitions.
The enemy is overrunning.
Demo charge being laid down here to guard the centre and again break up in the assaults. Another ambulance there on the way for Spanky and the 3rd armoured. Down to 30 victory points. We got the bulldozer here, basically just left to cover the far right.
Krauts are taking one of our points.
Nasty stuff there, MG34, we got to support the Volkswagen that is there. I'll move too far there, allowing the sort of a bit of damage being pushed back, and there you go, pack out is opening up once more. 27 and 15 kills. And there you go, folks, a lot of trouble here with the bulldozer in there. Quite a bit of trouble there. Finding continues to the centre, folks. Very close to the demo charge. He does not detonate it though. Perhaps he does not feel it is worth it. And there you go, the MG34 number 2 has been recruited as well. So that's 2 MG34s now under the command of Spanky. And we got another Stukas who's staying on the way for Paoj. 2 Stukas Fuses in one battle. That is also rare. Puma's blasting away. We got incendiary rounds there on the MG34. The German one, that is, not the American commanded one. Puma's bombarding. Anti-tank gun flanking in here on the Pumas. I think tried to about there from range. We got the M10 moving up as well. Pumas could be in trouble here. Pumas could be in trouble. Oh! One knocked out, out of control. Kaput! Scheiße, Fritz, get us out of here! And go, kaput. M10's rolling back, the ambulance standing up right next to the one. That is bold, that is courage. Or rather, indifferent commander. Which is also very likely cause. Anti-tank being rolled back to the rest of the positions here. Spanky, those bases just holding on to the 2 victory points. He does not seem to dare much else. Quick engagement down here, pack out, and there go Bulldozer joins up as well there with its 1.5mm howitzer and shoots and almost annihilates the entire unit, almost crashes them. Like an inset, and there go another MG-34 about to get cleared out. And there go wiped out by the American MG-34. Paoj is certainly in a bit of trouble here. Behind in command points, the only advantage he's got at the moment is victory points, more or less.
We lost a gun crew.
Wipes the MG-34 there. Can he get the pack out? And there you go. Pack out's crew crashed, slaughtered, extinguished. And he's using the MG-34 to rise up north. That is extremely risky right there from Paoj. He could end up with an MG-34 more in the hands of Spanky right then and there. Still, he's lost quite a few. And there you go. Puma could be lost. His veteran deformed, 25. Puma could be lost. Barely survived, still ambulance in their hand does not survive the encounter with the Puma.
Light vehicle just got destroyed.
Definitely a bit of an ace reconnaissance crew there, and we got a second Bulldozer Sherman there from Spanky, a second Bulldozer Sherman. Quite a bit there, M10's on the hunt now here for the Pumas. The Pumas need to go in, particular that veteran before. Very close, but managed to escape here, of course the M10s could just try and drive into the base straight after it and knock it out that way. It could work out, in particular support by the Bulldozer Sherman. It could probably wipe out everything he's got on the base. Of course, it would mean leaving this point unattended, which of course is a risk. I imagine Spanky's not willing to take with only 30 VPs left, even for the chance of crashing Paoj base and Paoj himself. Veteran 2 anti-tanking again, using take aim. That is good. Focus then moving ahead. Another tilt strike here straight into the enemy base. He'd probably like to use the anti-tank guns take aim to be able to do that. Cheeky little bastard. But clever. Clever is clever. Oh, another unit annihilated there on retreat. The 240mm howitzer slaughters them. There's barely any left there for Paoj. Barely any at all. The rest are pretty much dead. Mine hit though, damage engine heavily down, force coming up the Panther Shrek. Keeps moving though, Grenade going off there, damage engine. And they steal the M10, right under Spanky's nose. These two occupied with a foot attack, which you realise they're moving close to try and steal it. Cheeky bastard. There we go. Puma gets the other M10. He's got an M10 under his own control, but can Paoj get it out? He needs to get it moving now if he wants to try and have any chance of saving it. Pack out to the fires, misses. Just get that M10 moving, Paoj. Get it moving. Before it's too late. Why isn't he moving it? It can still move, even slowly. It can still move. At the same time, we got to push from here. Bulldozer moving up. He abandons it. He doesn't even try to save it. And there you go. Knocked out. What a shame there. What a shame. We got a Stukas was firing there. Gets the pack out again. Fight that is increasingly crazy. Troops are reinforcing. Well, whatever's left of Paoj troops at this moment. More Sturm Pioneers have arrived there with the Sturmgewehrs. Puma moving hit there straight into line of 5 of the anti-tank gun. Very close to T3. Puma being forced away again. Could lose one. Oh, manages it. Due to smoke. By this point, Paoj seems a bit contained here by Spanky. And there's a 40 population there difference between the two. We got another Stukas. Another Stukas. My God. Yet he's still not even considered remotely. Maybe just going for a Schwerpanzer quarters and a Panther and maybe a Sturmtiger or a Sturmtiger. I mean, either of those I think could have done a lot from this Doom team. Could certainly actually just push forward a bit more aggressively, just, you know, wipe out some of all those support weapons in a slightly more permanent fashion. Bulldozer moving up there, shoots, and doesn't do so much. And there's of course Jar's Kynes, but can't since he's dead. Puma's there firing me, almost got one there, almost got it, he's almost got the Veteran 5 on, he's almost got the Veteran 5 Puma! And there we go, it's wrecked, we got a Veteran 3 anti-tank gun, that is absolutely disastrous right there for Paoj. He lost his Veteran 5 Puma. Extra damage, extra range, extra accuracy, extra rate of fire, that is terrible. A huge loss right there to Paoj, who's barely got any troops left. He's got an MG-34, otherwise it's mostly Stuka's forces. He calls in another MG-34. Paoj seems an absolute trooper. But he certainly lost a lot of troops and he just keeps throwing them away to a certain extent. And still no use of incendiary rounds, by the way, on his MG-34s. I mean, he's called so many, and I think that's the first time he's using it, but now it's actually too late as it's only getting suppressed and pinned down. Another Stukas of his barrage. You could actually shoot them from this side of the river here and probably knock out the Stukas of Fusas if you wanted. MG Fellow Gates will kill 17 rounds before it gets knocked ourselves. There you go, good hit on the Stukas of Fus, forces it back. You can actually part the mechanized regiment if you wanted to. There you go, that's another team lost, and he's actually bombarding in, I think, in the base. Flak emplacement killed. Another folks could squat there on the way.
Back to full strength. The enemy is overrunning one of our capture
Running
points.
for the victory point up there's points taken down for himself as well. Another shot there, doesn't quite land as well.
Reinforcements in. Welcome to the Death Factory, boys. Stick with me and you might just make it.
Let's going to speed this up a bit. And you felt pushed away. Truck being rushed ahead. Straight into the enemy line of fire. There you go. Easily annihilated there by the anti-tank gun crew.
A capture point is under attack.
MG-34 joining in. The soldiers joining in. We got what kills in there? 16 kills. 17. 18, and there you go, another Stukas of his barrage here. Anti-tank and crew annihilated. No, that's a bit of a loss there to Paoj, or Spanky at this point. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference.
We're getting plastered over here. Enemy forces have 100 points remaining. Contact!
Demo charge nicely laid down there.
Capture point is being overrun.
Went off there, killing some forces, but not quite annihilating any units. And tank being moved forward, assaulting, trying to leave with the forces, but they're getting focused down here by whatever left infantry remnants that Paoj's men sort of scraped together as he throws them at Spanky. And we got Jackson on the way. He's actually going for a Jackson. He's gone for a million. Now he's getting a Jackson.
Down to 50 points.
2 in the fact they're firing it. Puma opens up.
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out.
Small loss there, and there you go. Another lost flak emplacement. Other one sort of been cleared out. There you go. 7 being pushed back here by the Puma. Veteran T2. 32, 29, 26 points here.
Germans are on the ropes. They're down to 25
Puma on the hunt.
points.
MG-34 there lost. In fact, now it's Spanky who's almost got 4 MG-34s.
We're on the hawk over here. Gun crew just got wiped out.
There you go, anti-tank gun crew murdered in cold blood. Puma was about there. We've got vehicle crew there with the MG-34 up north as well, which means maybe somewhere else. Or rather, they might have been for the ones that had lost it's German thieves. There you go, Bulldozer Sherman going up, but there you go, GG from Spanky, and game over here, a loss for Paoj, a victory for Spanky, and the third armoured division, a rather drawn out fight in some sense, but still rather interesting, rather unique, lots of MG-34s, Pumas, Stukas, Fusas, M10s, Bulldozer Sherman, so many assault engineers as well. I mean, rather a lot of units there, which in some cases don't see so much usage. I do think, though, Paoj, while making good use, to a certain extent, good use of the Pumas, the Stukas could have gone for something else besides them. I think he should have taken up at least in the Sturmtiger or a Panther, maybe some Obersoldaten, so mix things up a bit further. I also think he should have traded away quite that much fuel from munitions. I think he could have used it for something else. So the S-Mods were a good move here, and they actually did a lot of damage to Spanky. But again, in the longer run, his strategy was a bit too narrow. It lacked some breadth and some ability to sort of deal with other things, really sort of push through. And in that regard, Spanky slowly but surely won through, making good use of artillery. There's 2 pack houses, definitely proved quite helpful. Also get use of his assault engineers, and basically good use of the equipment he stole from his opponent as well. So some really nice play there from Spanky. There could have been some harassment on flanks from time to time. Sometimes they get a bit too focused on just one part of the map, but beyond that, pretty interesting fight, and I hope you think so as well. So if you did, why not subscribe, tell a friend, share it with everyone. If not, send in a replay and write some feedback in the comment section. And this is Imperial Dancing. Cheers, and thank you all for watching. Bye.